what's stopping us from trying again? I reckon we could definitely see eye to eye.
Yeah, but for the moment, until COVID is over, it's like we are forced to work remotely because we are both very
Yeah.
careful. We're not taking any chances.
Oh, believe me, no, I would not want to, especially with all the variants these days. I really would rather not.
Yeah, and even if I possibly, or if I personally think that I would survive, like even the regular variant, or even maybe the most the more aggressive ones, I still believe that I could still transmit to everybody else around me and pretty much kill everybody around me. So that's why I don't want to take chances.
Oh, I'm not here to debate the gravity of the situation. Everyone's different when it comes to COVID-19, but to say that you would instantly die if you were to get it is a little bit of a fool's errand. You don't necessarily die right off the hop. Sure, you're going to have one hell of a bad time. Yes, you're probably going to cough, feel like utter shit. However, dying of COVID-19 just right off the get-go is unbelievably unlikely if you're healthy. That's the keyword. If you're healthy from the get-go and you don't already have any complications with your respiratory system or any other parts of your body. Should you have any of those complications, then yeah, absolutely. You would be a lot more terrified than the average Joe when it comes to the current global pandemic. And not to say that if because you're a regular Joe, you should not fear COVID either. I mean, Jesus, I think there's enough of us got infected with it to know that you don't want that again. It's like, yeah, I had it once, okay, it was fine. Just don't give that to me ever again. And I'm kind of in that camp. It's like I don't want to ever have COVID again, you know. So yeah, those are my 2 cents about it.
Yeah, for me, I was lucky enough not to have COVID, but as far as I know, if I give it to anyone around me, I could potentially get everyone around me sick, and I would feel very, very responsible whether they die or not. I would still feel very, very responsible, and that's why I think, yeah, I'm keeping my distance. I put on my mask when necessary, and unless I really want to go shopping or go buy something that I really want to get, then I stay at home and do whatever I can to keep myself entertained. Even though the pandemic didn't really change much for me, I pretty much still stay at home. But yeah, the only thing that really changed for me is putting on a mask and basically keeping my distance, unless it's someone that I really, really trust. But then again, even if it's someone you really trust, the moment you notice them coughing or sneezing, you're like, okay, let me just stay away from you for a little while until you get better.
Not only that, but a lot of people, especially these days, end up being asymptomatic. So it's like you don't even know that they have the virus, and then next thing you know, you're infected too. They could look perfectly fine. Some people are completely oblivious to the fact that they have COVID-19 because I don't have any symptoms, and that has absolutely happened. And I would not be surprised if some people happen to be asymptomatic right now and are just carrying on with life as if everything was normal. But next thing they know, they're actually infected with COVID and they could put other people at risk. Now, that's kind of the difficult part as well. It's like, how often do I need to get tested? How am I supposed to know if I'm asymptomatic or not? And what am I supposed to do? You know, it's a little tricky in that regards. And I don't know, especially for me working in a pharmacy, I find it kind of scary. Especially because every day I go into work, it's I know I don't have symptoms. If I have symptoms, I'm staying back home and I'm not having any second thoughts about it. But it's been shown time and time again, some people have COVID but no symptoms. And how do I know I'm not going to be one of those people, end up infecting someone that's having respiratory problems, and then next thing you know, they die because of me? You know, that's really scary, and it's something I have to deal with constantly at work. Because the usual target demographic for a pharmacy are typically people with just weaker immune systems, just health complications, and the elderly. So with those people being kind of my daily kind of like my daily life and just seeing them every day. It's like you got to make sure you're on top of your game. Mask on all the time. Just disinfect your hands as much as you possibly can, and don't even attempt to get close to them. And my God, hide behind the plexiglass. You do not want to infect these people. It's like I'd feel so responsible if I were to infect one of them. And my God, I hope I never will infect anyone at work or for like anything for that matter.
Yeah, and hopefully they will actually respect the rules as well. Like they will put their masks on and keep their distances, so that way they are not the ones responsible for you being responsible. And
Yeah,
collect.
Next thing you know, it's a chain reaction, and it's tough to hold on.
If I'm about to collect all the notes and I die, then I have to go through the entire level all over again and recollect the notes.
Oh. See, that's why I can't. I saw something on. I can't remember what source it was exactly. I think maybe it's been something like Xbox Insider, but I saw something within the lines of. There's a Xbox Cloud service or something like that.
Yeah.
That allows you to play 360 and Xbox One games. Case in point, on PC. So having access to like the Xbox Game Pass on PC.
No way.
And it's supposedly coming in the next couple of months. And you know what I'm thinking?
What's up?
A Rare Replay on PC.
Oh, Rare Replay. Yeah, I remember. I think I know that.
Basically, you have access to Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie and Conquer and whatever whatnot.
Yep.
On PC.
Oh, so it's not going to be on Steam. It's going to be on something different.
Yeah, so it's going to be on the Microsoft client.
Oh, okay. So it's Microsoft's version of the cloud.
Yeah. So, with that version of the cloud, there's a strong possibility that you'll be able to just hook up a controller and just basically make your PC sort of pseudo Xbox, I guess, from what I understand. And that means I'll be able to play Banjo-Kazooie and have it like it was in the Xbox Live Arcade version, where you don't have to collect all the notes in one go.
Yeah, I mean, people who played that version are lucky not to have to worry about recollecting the notes all over again.
Yeah, and I think it's also for the players who have gone through the original N64 version and you're like, you know what? No. Fuck having to collect all the notes in one go. I just want to take it leisurely and Jesus.
Like make it less of some kind of a homework and make it more fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's kind of a peevy little moment. A bit like in Donkey Kong, I guess. Donkey Kong 64 had a bit of a similar problem, I think. I don't know if it was all in one go, but it was and as time goes on, a lot of people are wondering if EK64 is even a good game.
Well, to me, I think it's a great game. I just think that it's one of those games where you have to try to break it.
That, or I think that maybe people are saying that like it did not age well compared to something like Banjo-Kazooie, which is still fun as hell to pick up even in the N64 version. Donkey Kong 64, it feels like one hell of a chore.
Well, if you're trying to get 100%, yes, that's definitely feels like a chore.
Well, even just playing the main game, it's a little tricky. Well, tricky.
Well,
it can be a little bit of a chore as well.
Well, I never had that much problem with Donkey Kong 64 until I tried to collect as many collectibles as possible.
Okay. Well, it may just be me talking through my hat here.
Yeah, I still don't understand why some people don't like Donkey Kong 64. I mean, I still personally think it's a great game. I never really had any problems with it. It's maybe, I'm hoping that it's not the exact same experience as people who played Sonic 06, where some people say, yeah, it sucks, it's the worst game of all time, and some people say, oh, you know what, it's actually great, and then you look at them and you go, have you missed like every single detail of the game?
You know, a lot of people who say that Sonic 06 is a great game are typically 99% of the time absolute trolls. They're just doing it for the sake of seeing people freak out and just watch their reaction, saying like, "Yeah, Sonic 06 is great," and they're just basically blatantly lying to you. Because there's no way that shitty game is actually really enjoyed by anyone. I mean, I guess you can make a few arguments for like the soundtrack, for example. And I guess the visuals are okay. Like, they're not terrible, I suppose. And like, it's got a couple of things going for it, but gameplay-wise, it is a complete and utter shit show.
Especially the Silver the Hedgehog sections.
It's no use! Take
this! Like, especially that level with the giant ball, where it's like, if I roll that ball in there, it might open the door. It's like, why did it take me like 30 minutes just to get that ball inside that hole?
Well, it's because the controls suck. Easy.
Exactly.
My god, I'm so disappointed that game was rushed, because honestly, I feel like Sonic 06 had it in them to, be a really quality game. Like, there's an alternate universe out here that Sonic 06 is an absolute treasure of a game,
Yeah.
So, if only we could be in that alternate universe where Sonic 06 is actually a good game.
I heard that it's actually being reprogrammed and reworked on by some fans, but I don't know where that's at.
I would not be surprised if the fans would just say fuck it and just try to just try to rebuild it from the ground up. I would totally side with them if I had any skill and knowledge in that terms. I mean, it's a shame. It's such a shame, because I had so much potential, and then it just kind of all shits the bed. And you have to leave it to the fans to take care of it for you, like, well over a decade later.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, you also wanted to get into video game development, right?
That's right. I attempted and failed.
Yeah, as for me, well,
but
I never thought about it, because I know that I would fail right away, because I'm not technically a video game developer when it comes to like the designing and the programming. I'm more into the audio department. So that's why I said, yeah, there's no way I'm going to do that.
I mean, you could be an audio engineer for like a video game.
Yeah, definitely.
Always work.
I mean, definitely. I could, if I can work on the audio department for a movie, I can definitely work on the audio department for a game, whether it's sound effects, dialogue, or music composition.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of different sectors you can go into a video game, especially on the audio side. Like, you can do some Foley recording for some sound effects in a video game, which I personally am interested in. If someone were to offer me a job to do some Foley recording, I would be all in for it.
That would be so fun.
Honestly, it would, because it makes you, kind of think outside the box and find some really interesting uses for everyday objects, and make some new sounds and make them realistic as well, make them believable.
Yeah, just be careful not to use like a method Foley or artistic. Like, don't go too far in like method Foley artist territory where you actually injure yourself to get a great sound effect.
I mean, hell, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes, man.
Yeah.
Like, as long as the injuries are not like too hard, I reckon. As long as it's like, don't go out there and break your leg. Breaking a stick of celery is good enough,
Or combining the sound effects like the celery and the stick to actually add more impact to a broken bone.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you just layer them out and try to, figure it out. Or, I mean, this is where, listen, the internet is a big place. I'm sure you could look up on the dark web about, someone's leg being broken or something like that, and you'd be able to find something.
Yeah, the dark web. Let's not go that far. I'm not gonna go into the deep web. Or wait, did you mean the deep web or the dark web? Are those the same thing?
I genuinely don't know. Are they the same thing?
I don't know, because we call it the deep web, and for whatever reason, when Etika went through that, it seemed like he would also call it the dark web, because there's a lot of dark stuff in the deep web.
Yeah. By the way, rest in peace, Etika. God,
rest in peace.
I cannot believe it.
Yeah, even I was shocked when I found out about his suicide. Well, was it a suicide?
Yeah, it was. And it's just I wow.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I cried at least twice about Etika. Like, I'm not even gonna lie here. It's just it made me so unbelievably sad that he
Yeah,
passed
I'm.
away because on it, and not only that, but guess who the final two characters for Smash Brothers, like the final Smash reveal that he looked at
What was that?
and just reacted to? None other than Banjo-Kazooie.
No way.
Yeah, those were the last ones, and honestly, some of the last words he said were haunting. Let me see if I can find it. One of the last things he said in the reveal was, "Tonight we dine in hell."
So he was also a fan of 300.
I suppose so. Yes.
Yeah, because that line was definitely in that movie.
Yeah, that's definitely the line that a lot of people remember. That and "This is Sparta."
Yeah, well,
Um,
this is part of that's the line that everybody remembers the most.
Yeah. And not to leave on a terrible note, so I'm just gonna switch things around. Just wanted to highlight one of the projects that I've been working on. I guess in the last year or so, I've become a big fan of the Castlevania series, and I just am in love with it. Much like our dearly beloved James Rolfe, he loved Castlevania from a long time ago, and I just started picking it up, and I'm like, wow, I love it. I've just fell in love with the whole gothic atmosphere, and just kind of some of those older Universal horror movies. It's just goodness. I love it. And that's kind of where my own project, Grace Into God of Darkness, stemmed from my love for the series, and also because I've had my own characters that I've been planning since 2011. Funny enough, so it's been a very long time that I've been working on this, and I didn't necessarily have the means to pull it off, but now I do, and like things are slowly coming along together, and I still have a lot of hurdles to jump over, but yeah, there's very much like a Belmont family member trying to take down Dracula and his army of Ronnies from the depths of hell and trying to slay everything. So it's going to be a lot more complex than that, and just trying to make a good plot, trying to work on it. So far, Volume 1 is entirely written and voice acted already, and now we're kind of waiting for Volume 1 to be released before we head on to the development of Volume 2, which, dear, oh dear, I can't wait to go back and work on this project and make new things for it. And I just constantly work on the same Volume 1. It takes a long time, but I think it's going to be worth it.
I'm not sure if it's I'm not sure if it's the kind of project that I was familiar with, or was it something else that I wasn't aware of and that you were working on since 2011?
It is something I have kept behind mostly closed doors for well over a decade by now, and just in the last 6 months is where I've been really making a push for it.
Oh, okay. So it's not like that other project you worked on with your cousin, and I don't know where that is, but yeah.
Actually, yes, it is that. Yes and no, because some of his characters have made it mostly one, but I've kind of made it my own way. So it's like I've tweaked that character and just kind of made it my own instead, because that character was never being used anyway.
Yeah.
And built my own roster around it. Basically took all the characters that I've made, recreated them, and yeah, I have a link to it, and I'll send that your way if you're interested. I'll let you watch that.
Yeah, I can put it in the description below.
I suppose so. If they want to check it out, they can do that. And yeah, not the company that doesn't please me, but I've got salmon waiting for me upstairs, and I should probably go eat, because, like I said, I haven't eaten at all. The last, it's almost 9 hours. So yeah, I'm due. I think I'm due. Plus I gotta go pee too.
All right.